Okay, this is the old man coming to you with a very serious blog. A couple of things which I've seen this week has just emphasized in my mind that Satan is on the marching. He's trying to take us all down by using hate, divisiveness. First story happened earlier this week out in California. There was a woman who displayed a pride flag in front of her store. And while she herself did not identify in that community, she was all about inclusiveness, which, whether you agree with that or not, that's fine. But she was for everybody, and she was an advocate for everybody. That's everything that I've read. And the woman was 66 years old, and some young punk, well, I call anybody younger than me young, some young punk who was 27 years old took offense to this flag and shot and killed her. I mean, you don't have to agree with somebody, but if they don't, you just don't go around killing them. I mean, what have we become that we become so thin-skinned that everything offends you? And you get so offended to the point that you're going to kill somebody? Really? If you're having thoughts like that, then you need to do some reflection. That's all I can say. And the second story was just the other day, and this is from the other side, is where a woman, a patient, was going into a medical clinic where she had been receiving treatment. And outside of the clinic, they didn't say pride flag, they said LGBTQ plus flag, which I'm not sure what the difference is. If anybody knows, send me a comment. But she too took offense to this. She didn't agree with it, which is her right. And I guess she mentioned it to somebody inside the clinic. They told her that she could not go to that clinic for treatment anymore until she got re-educated. I mean, this wasn't just like a sprained ankle or anything. This woman was going to this clinic because she had cancer. A cancer patient, and you're denying somebody treatment because they don't agree with this striped flag you have out in front of your building. What have we become? That if we don't agree with something, we're either going to kill somebody or we're going to deny people the medical treatment that they need? This just staggers the mind. These were the kind of things that Martin Luther King and others like him were fighting for. They wanted equal treatment for everybody. I didn't say you have to agree with them. I mean, about positions that they have. But, I mean, we have gotten so extreme. It's either one way or the other. There's no meeting in the middle. And I wasn't going to bring it up, but there's another issue. I'm a big fan of Candace Owens, and there's some other ladies like her who I watch on YouTube. And it's like there's a big backlash on white people where blacks, I refuse to say African American because that's more racist than just saying what the color person is. But you have some black people who have such a distrust of people, white people, that this woman, her first name is Anna, I can't pronounce the last name, but she's basically saying that this keeps up and it's going to be a new civil rights movement. It's going to be for white people and Asians. Because it's how some of these black people are viewing us. And the whole thing like Black Lives Matter and some of these other groups, they're just as racist as the Klan, if you ask me. And sometimes even more so. If you were to ask somebody, tell somebody that all lives matter, you'd say, well, of course all lives matter, but, but we in the black community have been persecuted for hundreds and thousands of years. And my question is, have you personally been persecuted? And a lot of times they'll say no. I mean, you got people like Colin Kaepernick, who was adopted by a white family. And he's kind of old news now, but still pertains. And so he takes up this issue about police brutality and other related things like that. And so his way of dealing with it was kneeling during the national anthem. Now, I know some veteran groups have come forward and said that, yes, they served so that people like him could have that right, but was he ever brutalized? Does he know somebody who was brutalized? I bet you if during his heyday when he was playing football, if somebody had pulled him over, as soon as they saw who he was, they probably would have gave him a warning and asked, hey, could you take a picture? Could you sign this picture for my son? That kind of thing. And now the newest thing is Michael Oher, who played for the Ravens. Everybody knows from the movie The Blind Side. And he basically is screwing over his people who took him in. The Toohey family, they never adopted him because if you saw in the movie, it said, well, he was 18. It kind of makes no sense to adopt him. So they set up this thing can't, for some reason, the name eluded me. You probably tell what I'm talking, but it was, they set up this thing for him. They had to help make decisions for him. And so they had, if you remember from the movie, the father had owned several franchises worth millions and millions of dollars, which and so they were worth all this money, and they see this guy, this poor kid, they take him in off the street, and they help him. I mean, there was no guarantee that when he first went out for football that he was going to succeed. And so you claim that he's making nowadays, they're trying to take money away from him. Well, it's not true. They sold their franchises for millions and upon millions of dollars. They didn't need what little money was in this trust that they had for him. And so he's taking them to court. And they're like, no, you're more than well, you can have that. You can have what was in that. That's fine. We're not trying to keep it from you. And the fact that he's about ready to get married to this woman who is kind of pushing him towards turning his back on the people who helped him get to where he is. It's crazy. The world is spiraling down. Here, the Tui family took this young kid in because he was living on the street, and he's taken him to court. That makes no sense. This is what I'm saying. Satan's on the march. He's trying to turn us all against each other using hate. I've always thought that love is stronger than hate, and I still believe that. And in the end, we're going to see when God comes back what's going to happen with all that hate. But we need to do our part right now, is what I'm trying to say, is we need to stop buying into this, well, because I'm black, I'm been so mistreated, or because this person is gay and I don't agree with them, I'm going to blow them out of the water because they don't deserve to live in here, or because I don't agree in the LGBTQ agenda, and so you're going to deny me treatment? It's just wrong. It's just wrong. And that's all I'm going to say. It's just wrong. God bless.